They say every town's got one house, or one road, that just doesn't feel right. For us it was Hollow Creek Road. And in the summer of 1982, something happened there that I'll never forget. Something that still keeps me awake at night. It was June 1982 when the Millers moved into the old white farmhouse on Hollow Creek Road. James and Linda Miller with their 2 kids, Tommy, who was 12, and little Sarah, only 7. They seemed like good folks. James worked at the local hardware store, Linda volunteered at church, and the kids played ball with the other neighborhood children. The first couple of weeks were normal, but then strange things started happening. Neighbors, myself included, heard noises echoing through the night. Not the usual sounds you'd expect from a country road. I'm talking about screams. Quick, sharp, then gone. Dogs barked every night at the Miller house, their hackles raised as if something, or someone, was out there in the yard. Linda confided to my wife, saying she kept finding the back door wide open in the mornings, even though she swore she'd locked it. She joked it off as maybe James forgetting, but there was fear in her eyes. On July 14th, a hot summer evening, the Millers had neighbors over for dinner. Everything seemed fine. They laughed, played cards, and turned in early. But the next morning something was wrong. Their front gate was wide open. The screen door hung loose. And when I walked past on my way to work, I saw their dining table, plates still on it, forks laid out, food half-eaten, like they'd stood up in the middle of supper and never came back. No one was inside. Not James. Not Linda. Not Tommy. Not Sarah. They had vanished without a trace. Police swarmed Hollow Creek Road. They dusted for fingerprints, brought in search dogs, even drained parts of the creek. But there were no footprints in or out of the house. The only odd thing? Every clock in that house had stopped at 10:17 p.m. Sheriff Daniels told us off the record that there wasn't a single sign of forced entry. Nothing stolen. Car still in the driveway. It looked like the Millers had simply walked out into thin air. But neighbors started whispering. Old Mrs. Harper swore she saw 4 figures walking single file down the road that night, holding hands. But she said they didn't move like people. They floated. Another man claimed he heard children's laughter near the creek hours after the disappearance, though no children lived nearby. And me? Well, I'll tell you what I saw. Around midnight, I looked out my window and saw a dim, flickering light in their upstairs window, like a lantern moving from side to side. I thought it was James, maybe looking for something. But the next day, the police said there wasn't a single working light bulb in that room. Rumors spread fast. Some said the land was cursed, going back to when the farmhouse was built in the 1800s. Others whispered about cult activity, strange symbols carved into trees near the creek, bonfires late at night in the woods. The wildest theory? That the Millers weren't the first. People said another family disappeared from that same house in 1954, though there were never any official records to prove it. Weeks later, hunters stumbled across something deep in the woods 2 miles from the house. Children's shoes, a woman's sweater, and carved into the trunk of a tree, the word "stay." The items were sent off for testing, but nothing came of it. To this day, no one knows where the Millers went. The farmhouse still stands, empty. Locals avoid it. Kids dare each other to peek through the windows, but no one goes inside after dark. And sometimes if you're walking Hollow Creek Road on a summer night, you might hear it, a girl's giggle, faint, carried on the wind. And every year on July 14th, neighbors swear they see a light flickering in the upstairs window at exactly 10:17 p.m. Some folks say they left. Others think something darker took them. I believe the Millers never left at all. They're still there in that house, waiting,